All right. So, Shreya, firstly, a very, very big congratulations to you for securing an All India rank of 75 in Clat and finally getting to go to NLSIU Bangalore. How does it feel that finally it is over and you've got your dream college?
I feel elated. The moment I found out, I actually was expecting probably Nalsa. I was not expecting Bangalore.
Okay. What did you make of the paper?
The paper at first glance, after the paper, I felt like it went bad. But then I counted my marks. I saw where I did the mistakes, and I realized that, okay, it's not the best I could have done, but I did well.
So can you please take us through the result day? I mean, how anxious you were, because you just said that you were pretty sure about one thing, right? That you have done good, right? So maybe not this or that, but were you sure about that? That if today the results are gonna be there, right? You will see your name in the top 200, maybe not 100, maybe not 150. No,
definitely not. It was terrifying. Also, I think the site crashed, so we were on it for half an hour, and we were actually waiting from 9 o'clock. I think the roll number thing came 9:30 the previous day, so we were waiting like it will come 9:30, 10, 11, and everybody in my house was so anxious. And at 12 o'clock dot, when they said the result, we were on half an hour and we all were so freaked out, so terrified. And the moment I saw the 75 rank, I just sat down and it let it all sink in.
Let it all sink in, huh?
It was.
Achha, how different was this experience of getting a rank 75 to getting a 99.2 in your 12th?
So actually, the 75 rank, I had time to take it in. I had an hour, 2 hours, something. But after giving AILET, when I found out I had 99.2, I did not have time to process it. They were coming, congrats coming from everyone and this and that. And my paper was over and it was just the most overwhelmed feeling I have had.
So I think that 1 week changed your life upside down, no?
Completely.
It was like completely changed.
Completely. I was terrified on 23rd and I was ecstatic on 30th.
That 1 week actually.
So one more thing here. So after whatever happened, right, did you or did you not go and write the AILET exam? Did you write the AILET exam?
I did. Yeah, I gave the AILET exam. My father just told me to block everything out for a day and two. Give this exam to the best of my ability and then we will celebrate. So for 1.5 days, I kept it all at bay.
So how was that exam?
Huh?
How was your exam? How was the AILET exam?
Yeah. AILET was, I think everybody is saying this, AILET was surprisingly easy. Everybody expected like it to be really difficult, and I think this year they're making all the exceptions.
I think you guys are really, really unique that you are in a fantastic school, DPS Arkepuram, you got there in 11th and 12th, you actually could not enjoy your school and you had to just sit down and just, it was actually very tough.
Yeah. But your seniors at NLSIU Bangalore, they are not going to like the fact that you still went to write the AILET exam, right? Because there are a lot of people, right, who they are very touchy about the issue. That why did you, right? Do you feel that you could have done this, you could have left, or like there are like so many things which you I'm sure, I mean, you will find this for yourself when you reach there. So classes and anything else you got from them as of now about the dates?
Yeah, the orientation started. I have officially enrolled in it, and I think the session will start from 9th onwards.
Oh, that's great.
All right. So quickly, I mean, not quickly, but take your time in answering this question, Shreya. How was that last 1 year when you had to juggle your 12th as well as your law prep? And how tough was that year actually? Take your time to answer. How was your typical day throughout that year?
It started as not that stressful. I was expecting a smooth sailing. But then the pandemic hit. And then the process was I enrolled in May. So I was a little behind on classes. So my whole summer, I caught up on classes. I did the previous work. I worked on all my projects. I completed a lot of stuff in that summer. I realized halfway through my school year that working on school is not going to do me that good because I don't need my CBSE marks. I need my Clat rank. So halfway through the school, I decided I'm just going to study for Clat, and 1 or 2 months before both, I'm going to pick it up again. I'm going to just keep on the current classes, the current things that are going on.
Yeah, I would want to interrupt here because I have because like this video, right? A lot of our students are going to watch you, right? Whatever you have to share, and I am going to ask you a very, very difficult question, right? How did you tell yourself this thing that CBSE is okay, right? Because everyone, right? बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स के जहन में आ जाता है कि यार नहीं यार, I think I need to focus on something else because that's my goal. I'm not saying that CBSE schools cannot be your goal, right? If you're looking for admission at say Ramjas or SRCC, maybe that's also very important. But what if you are so clear about your goal that okay, I have to make it to the top 5 NLUs, but still, right, there is so much pressure around you. There are like school people always asking you stuff. So how difficult it is to do what you already know, right? You already know that this should be done, because a lot of students ask me the same thing, sir. होता नहीं है बस ये पता है हमको, ये होता नहीं है. So what was your answer to that?
So the first thing I feel very privileged to have was that my parents were very supportive. They told me that if you think this is the right thing to do, then do this. Okay. The second thing is you feel that pressure from teachers at school and your friends at school when they're scoring good and you're not scoring good. The thing is, I read somewhere that don't show them the process, show them the results. So it doesn't matter what the process is. If you are working hard on the goal you want to achieve, then it does not matter what they think. And it's a difficult thing to accept. It took me a lot of time. It took me like probably a month to actually sink this in, that my boards don't matter. We are also very hyped up in India. Yeah. The board factor is so hyped up.
Yeah. Especially in North India and Delhi. I mean, board marks nahi to kuch nahi.
Kuch nahi,
exactly. Right. They're so hyped up that we don't give them the space to go outside of boards. So they should realize that we do have that space, and if we don't, let's make that space.
Okay, and one more thing here. So which was that month, right? Which you would say that from October onwards, or from November onwards, or say August onwards, right? What was that date or that timeline from where you got very serious about this? Okay, so that if you have to look back now, you can say that okay, these 6 months or these 8 months, right? So what was that number for you when you finally told yourself, okay, this is it now? Or it could be as late as February as well, right? It could be.
Yeah. So I started studying for Clat in May. I got serious with Clat in October, but I got that vision for Clat in around, I would say, February, March, something. So from March onwards, I devoted like 9 hours, 6 to 7 in that range every day for Clat. So I think it was a little late, I know, but it was.
It doesn't matter till the time you get into your college. Yeah, it doesn't matter actually.
Exactly.
No, but I think October, the month which you also mentioned, right, is October, right? So if you were like, you had started thinking about your goal then, right? That October was that time, and then you had enough time, right, to work on that, right? Whatever goal you had set. Great. So yeah, please continue with
we had asked you how was the entire year. So you said that you started off in May and then you got serious about Clat in October, and then how. So what is not adding up is you said that boards are not important, and then you get a 99.2.
So this is actually, I did not give boards this year. This is upon the score I got last year. Last year I focused completely on academics and a little bit of extracurriculars. So I had a good score in 11th. I had a good score in 10th. This is that. This is not this year.
I'm sure you would have given your internals and everything, and you would have done well in those as well, which would have added to it as well. You know?
Yes, of course. I would have spent one more month out of my Clat prep towards sports. So that was a very plus point. I got 2 extra months for Clat because both got cancelled.
And then Clat happened in July, and this was a longer period because we were unsure what is going to happen. So how tough was the first wave of COVID, and how tougher was this? If it was tougher, how tough was the second wave for you?
So actually the first wave was not that tough because my goal was very far. Clat was so far away. It was like 1.5 years away. But then the second wave was a lot tougher because in January, when they said that they are going to postpone boards, that they don't know that indefinitely postponing boards, we did not know when Clat was going to happen. It probably won't happen in May. That was a lot more difficult because there was so much uncertainty, and with uncertainty, it's very difficult to study. There's no motivation.
More anxious, more anxiety and everything. So how did you handle that? You blocked it out?
It's very difficult to block it out. I actually installed apps on my phone that will just keep me away from it so that I'm giving at least 6 to 7 hours of my day to Clat. And I just did that because it was very difficult to take it hard. Then I took it very easy during the January and February month.
So, एक मुद्दे की बात बताओ Shreya. When did that light inside your head start that law is what I want to do? Where did you get that thing, light bulb?
So I actually joined law because my father said that this would be a good field for me, and he thinks that I made for it. But I was not that motivated. In one of the classes with Pratham in the CS session, we were having a debate, and in that debate, I tried to come up with good points, and I tried to engage with everyone and debate on it. And I realized that I actually like doing it then. I actually like understanding these topics. So that was the light bulb for me.
And how late or how early in the prep time did you realize that this is what I really enjoy doing?
It was quite in the starting. We had these debates in the first 7 or 8 class, I think 7th or 8th CA class. Kind of. That was the day. बहुत
बढ़िया. Sir, you have a question?
So yeah, I was just like gonna ask you कि यार ये जो uncertainty की जो भी बात हो रही थी, and you know like Clat was being delayed and there were so many questions, but I think एक और बहुत important चीज जो फंसा हुआ था ना, we were not sure whether the Clat is gonna be offline or online. So how was that of an issue for you? Because it is not easy that you've been doing everything offline, then they say okay इस साल online आ जाओ यार, and then next day we don't know, right, whether it is going to be online or it is going to be offline. So were you like uncertain about that, and how much of that was affecting your prep?
It's actually it's better to give it offline than online, right? We can mark things, we can flip easily, it's easier to do it. And so what I did was I attempted half of my mocks online, half of them offline. It was not that big of a thing because, well, we went through the pandemic. This was a smaller part of it. We just have to live with these things.
How voracious a reader are you in terms of books? That was your reading speed okay, good, not good?
It was, I like to read novels a lot, but that doesn't count in this prep, right?
But at least it counts a lot, my dear.
Fictional novels.
It doesn't matter. It's just your reading speed that makes all the difference. Sure. Yeah. So you're saying that, I mean, because you read novels, and I'm sure you read a lot of novels, that is what probably made that reading speed to be very, very good. Was it? Was that the reason that you could read the paper? Because somebody who doesn't read books would have a problem with Clat.
That's true. Reading books does help, of course it does. But the main point is that you start reading newspapers and you start reading articles online, and you do it constantly for 2 to 3 hours every day. That helps a lot. It gets you in the practice.
Yeah, that gets you in the zone of being a lawyer.
It gets you in the zone. Exactly.
How kicked are you to wear that black coat?
Huh?
How kicked are you to wear that black coat finally when you're done?
So excited. I'm so excited to go to Bangalore. Just become a lawyer.
I just
go
pray
through
to God that this pandemic ends and you are able to go to the campus.
Exactly.
नहीं तो 5 साल अगर यहीं पे बैठ के पढ़ना रह गया तो भाई मजा ही नहीं आएगा.
Yeah, cross fingers.
Okay, so how big a support were your parents that they, I mean, were okay with the plan of you not being serious about boards, but being more serious about Clat and law?
They were very supportive from the starting. Everything I said, I think this is what should I do. They were like, if you think this is okay, then we will do that. They stopped a lot of outings, and when I wanted an outing, they would go for an outing. But when I was saying I don't want to go, they'll accept that. And I think they became my support system. So I think that was very necessary to have a support system to, when you're just stressed from all that, you can have some ranting sessions and you can just talk to them about stuff. And if not parents, for some people, friends can become that, mentors can become that. But for me, it was my parents.
Right. And are you the older of the 2 siblings?
Yeah, I'm the older of the 2 siblings.
And yeah, I'm sure it is a journey that you were on the journey to get into NLSIU Bangalore, and your parents were equally part of that journey, right?
Yeah, totally. 100%.
So they are also ranked 75.
They're also ranked 75.
And you have, friends around you who were also preparing with you, or
did you have a small study group of sort?
Yeah, I made friends from Pratham. We had a little study group of 6 people. Okay. We would talk on that sometimes. That would help. That definitely helps. Having a study group definitely helps. Having at least one person you can talk to about this stuff.
Who has a similar goal, similar passion.
Exactly.
So during your journey to NLSIU Bangalore, how would you what role did Pratham play in it?
A huge one. It was amazing. Starting from the QA sessions in the morning, the VA sessions, it actually helped build up my whole foundation. And the books recommended. When I did all of that, I could see my foundation building up, my basics building up. And especially those YouTube sessions that Hema ma'am conducts, I still remember one of the sessions. There was this Jal Shakti Abhiyan Catch the Rain program that came in Clat. I remembered it from that session, and I actually went back to my notebook to check where it was. So it played a huge part of my prep.
And which were the classes that you really enjoyed and you would look forward to attending those classes?
I would say current affairs, legal, and QA. And yeah, logical also. I just don't like English that much.
Yeah. So do you think in your Clat was the game changer Quant section? You attempted all of them?
Yeah, I am okay. I'm good at maths, but in this Clat, I did not do that well in quantitative. Surprisingly, I did a lot well in VA compared to that. So it's a very surprising. You just have to go with the flow during Clat.
Yeah. Okay, so अब LA की बात हो रही है, QA की भी बात हो रही है, तो एक तो सवाल LA पे भी बनता है, right? Legal aptitude. So do you think this year's LA legal aptitude section was a bit of a surprise, because last year they had moved on to comprehension, आप ये पढ़ लेना, and then you would just do it, right? And there were so many videos out on that you don't have to read what a contract is or what a post-rule is. So do you think that when you had a look at the paper and at the LA section, were you pleasantly surprised, or you were like, oh yeah, I mean, like, now this is something else? What was the reaction?
So we did study all of this during the test prep, but I was actually expecting a lot of legal current affairs passages, which were totally not there.
Right.
So it was quite a surprise, because with legal current affairs passages, you're at least a little bit assured that you know what's going on, that they're introducing to the topic fully, and you are at least a little bit aware of it. But there were some topics in there that I only know the basics about.
Right.
So it was quite surprising, but I didn't have much time to think about it during the paper.
Right. So do you feel that if a student has not gone through those topics, right, he would have spent more time in understanding what the poster rule is, or what, like, so you, if you have read about that, right, it is always helpful, because then you have that basic understanding, and then you work on that, as compared to the comprehension based passages where you just, as you were saying, right, that there is so much information there. So do you feel that it is pertinent to go through these topics beforehand, or you can do it otherwise as well? What's your view on that?
So I would say that these topics, even if they don't come word to word in Clat, even if they are like not the whole topic is there, even if it's something related to that, you at least get the confidence that I can understand it. The confidence matters more than what the content there is. So
excellent. Yeah, I agree.
So definitely it helps studying them.
So you said that you really like the current affairs classes at Pratham. So जब आपने current affairs का section उठाया law के अंदर, Clat के अंदर, so how pleasantly surprised were you कि यार ये तो सब हमने pretty much कर रखा था ना? Majority of the things we had done, discussed a lot in classes.
During the sessions. A lot of them were during the sessions. A lot of it I got confused with because the options were so close. But yeah, it was so surprising. The Sheikh Mujibur thing, they were all just here and there. Pieces of it were in during the whole session. So it was calming. It was very calming. So surprisingly, I did not expect the CS session to be section.
थोड़ा difficult होना चाहिए था, but difficult आया नहीं, आसान आ गया. And how regular were you with the classes at Pratham? That I mean, we were bombarding you with classes, weren't we?
Yes, sir. So I attended all the classes from the first session. Then I did the crash course. But after that, I felt like the classes were taking too much out of my revision time. So I gave more time to what I have already done, my notes, and doing new current affairs topics, reading all articles. And so by the end, I just used to ask my friends if there was something important, if there were specific topics highlighted. Otherwise, I would do on my own.
You attended your Clat specials? Did you attempt your
Yeah. Clat specials. I used to attend the handouts, just the handouts. And then I would just go through them, like go through the video and check the answers if there were explanations needed.
So सारे Clat special सारे subjects के अच्छी तरह करे थे.
Yeah.
and again, I mean, Clat special, but mocks, right? So when did you got serious about giving mocks, analyzing them, spending a lot of time there? When was, like, that part that you have to give 3 mocks in a week or 2 mocks in a week, or like just the mock part? Because a lot of people are, like, always in a bind when to start, right? If they are preparing, right, when to start giving the mocks, right? A lot of them say that we will start late or want to start early.
I think I started just after the first session, first whole session finished. I think it was around December, maybe January around. Maybe I started a little before that, but I remember my logical subject teacher saying that now you can attempt mocks. So I started giving mocks then. The important thing was that you started getting used to the structure, not the questions.
Yes. Right. And how were your mock scores? Like, were you able to understand, or like were you able to point out your mistakes or your weaknesses? So and was there a huge variation, right? Or was it that you were always hitting a score near about 90 or near about 100? Like, so how was that journey?
So there were a lot of variations. Like, I think my lowest would be 60, 65 something, and my highest was around 95 something. So there were a lot of variations, but the marks don't actually matter. It matters like where you are standing.
Definitely, right.
Giving that mark.
Definitely, right.
Because if you found it hard, there are chances other people also found it hard.
Exactly.
And जो रैंकिंग में आ रहा था श्रेया, आपने अपनी रैंक्स तो चेक करते होगे जो मॉक्स दे रहे थे, तो क्या आ रही थी? What were your ranks that you were coming?
The thing I noticed was I was usually 90% times I was there on the board. So sometimes it was like among the top 3, others it was like among the below 3 in the 10 rank system. But I noticed that I was always there.
So finally, आपका Clat. So based on, if I were to ask you, did the Pratham mocks were able to simulate actual Clat? And because of the mocks that you gave and you got a 90 plus score in them consistently, were you able to replicate that in your Clat as well?
Yeah, definitely. The thing with Pratham mocks is they are a little bit lengthy. Their passages are a little bit lengthy and a little bit difficult. So when you start attempting mocks that are actually exact replicas of Clat, then it becomes very easy. Then you see it as not as a challenge, but as something which came below your standard. So definitely it helped.
Right. So what are you looking forward to in Bangalore?
A lot of things. The campus, they had such great facilities, amazing facilities. They have so many clubs, opportunities to participate in social work, moods, debates. Plus, the academic system sounds so interesting. We have to write these position papers and all, which on the account of it sounding a little bit of more adult, like I have become a grown-up, it does sound very interesting. Plus, exploring a new city is always interesting. You're having your own freedom, which at this point it's very limited. But when you go to your own city, to a college you have worked really hard for, it's
an amazing feeling. NLS, I mean, like people just like, they have deemed, right? Okay, so that's what we really want to do, right? So the name again comes to your mind with all of this, and then again you've been thinking about this, and that just makes it super special, even more special.
Plus, you see these, like yesterday there was a session with Supreme Court Justice Ravindra Bhatt, and I was feeling starstruck for the first time in my life. So these exposures help you a lot. It just increases your thinking of what your potential can be.
Yeah, and law is one course which is going to probably teach you pretty much everything under the sun. They're going to, the kind of exposure, the kind of subjects that you will end up studying will be like amazing. बहुत मजेदार होने वाले हैं आपके ये subjects. The journey of those 5 years is probably going to be the best 5 years of your life. I am quite sure. Maybe, I hope you guys get to go to your campus soon, right, and enjoy it, because studying law online will be tough, right? Do you agree with me?
It will be tough, but I guess we have to make
used to it
what we are given. We are a little used to it now. Right. But I'll definitely miss campus life till then.
But I hope maybe this latter part of the year, maybe the second term or the third term, that you get to go to campus. And okay, so did you have any mentorships with any of our Pratham faculties, or I mean, any kind of discussion that you used to have regularly with us?
Yeah. I had 2-3 sessions with teachers, and most of them, what I got was that I should work on my negative points, and what I learned from that was I should stop making excuses. I make a lot of excuses. Maybe I did not get marks because of this. Maybe I was not in the right headspace. Maybe it was uncomfortable or something like that. The major key that I found during this whole time was that to stop making excuses, and anything you are bad at, just take it and do it as much as you can till the point you start liking it. That was the only point that helped me cross this threshold.
Very, very good insight into a prep. यार, मतलब जो चीज मुश्किल होती है वो लोग जो है ना छोड़ देते हैं, यार ये तो मुश्किल है. Typically a lot of CLAT aspirants especially or probably also reappearing for CLAT say कि सर मैथ्स तो होता ही नहीं हमसे, राइट, एंड दे एंड अप सेइंग कि सर ये सेक्शन तो हम करने नहीं वाले, बाकी सेक्शन में नंबर निकाल लेंगे, है ना. सो and through that maybe from that point onwards I will probably pick up that and tell यार जो चीज negative है, and stop giving excuses, work on it to the level that okay you get above average marks on it, because you never know which section in the actual exam might be the game changer. Like you said, you never liked English, but English was the easier of that lot. Maths was your favorite subject, but you what you were scoring, you could not score that much in your in the actual exam. So great way of putting across यार जो अच्छा नहीं था, क्योंकि I worked on it regularly, I got to the level that okay, my English section was probably the make or break section for me, and I got good marks in that, and that is why I'm going to Bangalore. So yeah. And which all teachers did you have your mentorships with, if you were to share with us?
I had Ashish sir for VA, Ashish sir for QA. I had Abhimanyu sir for CA, then Hema ma'am came, and for LR, I think Abhimanyu sir was there for a while, then Amardeep sir took 1, 2, 3, I think some classes in between. And for logical, sir, I'm actually on the name. It was
Prateek sir होंगे, sir थे, ma'am.
हाँ, Prateek sir, it was right, Prateek sir, Prateek Pradhan sir, yes.
Right. So a great congratulations to all the Pratham faculty. Aman sir, congratulations to you. Congratulations to Hema ma'am. Congratulations to Prateek sir, Ashish sir. Great work, guys. Your efforts on getting her there have actually paid dividends, and we can see a gleaming smile on her face. That is great motivation for us as well. कि हम हमारी छोटी motivation है, हम बहुत खुश होते हैं when our kids do well, they do exceedingly well, they get into their dream colleges. It doesn't give us a bigger kick than that. I mean, we are so happy about it. It's unbelievable. Small little things in life here, as academicians, as teachers, these are the things that we actually work for, right? Everything else is incidental. But genuinely, and this is why I wanted to be here as part of this discussion, was because when I started off Pratham, it was the basic aim in life was to make sure that the kids get into their dream colleges, right? And when we interact with students like you, it just, I mean, that spark comes back, and probably, and in my case, it just pushes me to do better every day. So thank you, Shreya, for giving us that, for re-enlightening that spark in us to continue to do well. So abhi interview khatam nahi hui hai, theek hai?
Yes,
to be honest, I'm really enjoying this conversation.
Yes, sir, me too.
So any calls from your school to congratulate you?
I receive calls from my teachers, texts from my teachers, my friends.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, and how, I mean, how does it feel to be on cloud 9?
Yeah, it feels like being on cloud 9. It feels amazing. Just you cannot describe this feeling. Yesterday my mom was telling me that this is like a significant life achievement, which there are like some achievements in your life that are during the process, and then there are these groundbreaking life achievements, which did not feel like that at first. It felt like, okay, it happened, but then when I really started to understand it, it was mind-blowing. Cannot describe this feeling. So
amazing feeling to be there, and then you had your 99.2.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I was before we started off, I was actually having a word with Shreya. Shreya, I think it is probably the best phase of your life when you have an option of studying in SRCC and an option of studying in NLSIU Bangalore. I mean, people would die to get in a situation like that you have the best of both worlds to choose from, right? I mean, you have the world at your feet right now. So just make sure that you are humble, that you are living in the present and not let it go to your head. But बहुत बड़ी achievement होती है 99.2. I mean, like serious. अच्छे खासे लोगों के नहीं आते यार. And having put your CBSE on the back burner and giving CLAT more priority is amazing. Yeah? I mean, you are ranked 75, Shreya, out of about 70,000 people who gave the exam. So that is a big deal. And an all India level exam is 75 Anna is no mean feat. It is a great achievement, and probably that is something that you will put as part of your resume till the time you don't stop working. And wo achievement ye rahegi, this moment, this phase. Do remember this, because whenever you hit a low, for you to come back up, this phase and this feeling is what is going to get you back up. That the world was at my feet. I had SRCC, I had NLSIU Bangalore, and I could choose the works, right?
The confidence, yeah. I mean, it just works wonders for your times. So, Shreya, one more thing here. So, and I know, maybe it's a bit early to ask this at this stage, because right now, as you said, right, Cloud9, but एक होता है ना कि एक dream, एक होता है कि the college, but at times, right, वो एक धुंधला कुछ और भी आ रहा होता है, that maybe I'm standing in front of the judge and I'm arguing in one of the important cases, or maybe I'm going to a corporate house, or यहाँ खुद judge बनने का. तो क्या वो अगले वाला dream कुछ अभी है, वो कुछ धुंधला सा कुछ है, या अभी it is?
There are like 3-4 scenarios going on in my mind.
Wow,
there's
okay, so very good.
Judge scenario, then maybe corporate, then maybe international relations. It's a lot of it. I just don't want to restrict myself right now.
Great, but you already have that, right?
Yeah,
you
definitely.
Have that somewhere, going on. Abhi bhi ki haan, theek hai yaar, but like when I'm in my first year, I'll start maybe doing this. Maybe in the third year, I'll take a final call what I really want to do. But wo 3-4 like जो आपके interest areas होते हैं, वो कुछ like while you are preparing for law, वो कहीं ना कहीं से आपको थोड़ा feel आना शुरू हो जाता है कि maybe yeah, this is interesting. As you said, international relations could be, right, or could be arbitration. Great. Okay, so
that helps a lot. That really helps a lot.
That helps a lot, right? So you, because you have another goal which is right there. एक होता है कि college, and then you see yourself, 10 years down the line, 15 years down the line, something doing something which you really want to do. Something you really want to do. Great. So perfect.
So on a regular day for you, Shreya, because you had to manage your CBSE and your CLAT, a typical day would be school in the morning, and then, or you used to do something before the school as well, before the school began?
No, school in the morning. I'm not a very morning person. I would prefer to study till 6 o'clock in the morning, then wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Right. So how was your day? So 6 hours of school, or 4 hours of school, and then tuitions, and then CLAT, or?
In the starting, it was more school. So during the week, it was mostly school, 1 to 2 hours per day for CLAT. Then the whole weekend CLAT. This started for a while. Then I did school, then my tuitions, and CLAT in all the interfaces in the between. So one thing I would say would be that I did not follow this, but 7 to 8 hours of sleep a day is very, very much necessary, because when I did not sleep 7 to 8 hours a day, I would fall asleep during studying, and that impacted my studies a lot.
Exam mock dete time to nahi so gayi thi na?
No.
Right. Super. So if I were to ask you, Shreya, 3 people that you want to thank for where you are now, who would those 3 people be? Could be your teachers in school, could be your parents, anybody in the world. I mean, you can just name any 3.
3 people. Definitely my parents. Can I count Pratham as one of the people?
For sure.
And I would say one of my closest friends. She's from Pratham only, and we used to talk a lot. Her name is Paridhi, so it helped a lot to talk with her and discuss what we wanted to do.
Paridhi, right?
Yeah, Paridhi.
Is she from the same school?
No, we met due to Pratham.
All right. So congratulations, Paridhi. You deserve a lot of credit for getting Shreya where she is right now. So kudos to you. Thank you for filling in that space of that person that she could pick up the phone and talk to any time of the day. So great work, Variti. Thank you so much for doing that for us. So, and your parents, how proud are they? I mean,
I felt like when they found out, they went like, sadme mein chale gaye thoda. They were, oh, what is happening? What is going on? I think for 1 to 2 days, my parents didn't actually register the fact that this happened.
So Variti, का आपने बताया यहाँ पे श्रेया कि like she was a support and parents again. चलो पहले parents का पूछ लेता हूँ. So were they on the same page? Because a lot of parents, right, they say that NLS or top 5 colleges are good, but could they understand also, or maybe like उन्होंने बहुत लोगों से शायद सुना हुआ था that it is the best college, or was it just about the best college, or was it about also the dream you had for so long, right? So what was it like, right? Was it just about the college कि हाँ ठीक है, she has done well, or it was something like you used to talk to them about, right? जैसे होता है ना, कुछ लोग बोल रहे होते हैं कि यार मेरे को बस ये college चाहिए बाबा. और so like I think 2 years back I was talking to another student और उनके parents का ये था कि हर चीज के अंदर that guy would ask about the mess food also at NLS, right? So घर पे खाना अंकित sir कुछ अजीब था ना, तो he used to wonder that what if I don't get similar food there. So was it something like that? Like how was your journey there?
So with me, it was they first made sure that I actually wanted to do this. They said, try it. If you don't like it, we will change it.
Okay.
But when I started doing it, there was debates in classes and I started liking it a lot. They could see that I was liking it a lot. Okay. And then the mess food, the hostel, these were not the problem. These were on the back. That right. These we will deal with this after. It does not matter.
Right.
The major thing I think was that it's Bangalore. It's a very far away from Delhi. Plus safety issues. That was the only major problem they had with Bangalore. Nothing else. When they found Bangalore, they like, you go, you can go. Just go to back. Be happy. Like yesterday with that session with Justice Ravindra Bhatt, I was so happy, and my mom came into my room. She saw that and she was also very happy that finally this is happening for you.
That's a calling. She's finally understood her calling in life, because बहुत tough होता है कि जब आप 11th 12th में आते हो, you don't know what you want to do and your parents put you in a position. There are cases where people just feel very bad about the fact कि यार क्यों डाल दिया, क्या करना है, क्यों करना है, and then the lack of motivation, then the journey goes downhill from there. What is great about it is that your parents took that decision for you, and during the course we were there to help you in some small little way to help you realize that you had the potential to do law, and not just do law but do law from the best college of the country. So yeah, that is a great thing, sir. Aman sir.
Yeah, and because there have been instances also jahan par, so like someone has made it, right? But law, because if someone is coming from a family of doctors or of IITians, for them it's like, okay, so you did okay, but it is not like this. It is not. So there is so much comparison within the families also, and like parents at times are so like worked up about this, that okay, he's not going to.
So my parents are doctors.
Oh,
amazing.
First generation lawyer.
Yes, I don't have any lawyer anywhere near.
Right. So great. I think we should thank them also, right, for supporting you the way they have, right? Because otherwise it gets so difficult even for the parents as well, right? So yeah, I think you were just lucky that ways as well.
Yes,
right?
I feel very privileged that my parents actually supported me throughout the whole process, and I feel like throughout the process my father actually knew more about this than I did.
Wow.
They never the push for you to become a doctor like them?
No, actually they told me the opposite. They said that if you don't actually want to become a doctor, if you are not passionate for this line, don't pick it up.
Great.
They told me that from the get-go.
Super. So I have a very interesting one for you here. If you were to suggest why you got through and why somebody else didn't, what was the basic thing that made you get through and not somebody else who did not do it? What was that thing that was missing? Maybe could be missing in somebody else's prep, that because of which they don't get through Clat, and what was that thing in your preparation that made sure that you made it?
The first thing I will say is that Clat, even if it's a knowledge-based exam, it's kind of a luck of chance. One day you are in a good position mentally, and one day you are not, and your results would differ a lot in those 2 days. I think the thing that helped me cross the threshold was that one where I stopped making excuses and I started working on my problems. I had a good support system, and I would take break whenever I felt like I'm going to burn out. I think this plus all of the excess things, the tips, the numerous tips you get from mentors, you get from watching the videos of rankers, of previous year rankers. This plus you do not have to exhaust yourself mentally. This is Clat. This is not IAS exam or NEET or JEE. This requires a normal level of prep, but with good accuracy and good efficiency.
And consistency.
Definitely consistency. You cannot, if you stop in the middle, for even if you think maybe I'll take a break of a week, that does not work. You will stop. It will take you like another week to get back on track. This happened with me.
Level, right?
No, exactly. This happened with me when the boards got postponed. I took a break of a week, but it was so hard to get back on track. And maybe a day, but I don't think more than that should be done.
So it is like a clearing law is like that passion that should never go away. If you have that kind of passion and that support system, because they are also living that same dream as you are, without that consistency. So passion, support, and consistency, would those three be the most important things for somebody who made it and somebody who didn't?
Yeah, according to me. And support system is not necessarily parents. It can obviously
could be so anybody. Yeah.
But according to me, these three things were the most important thing that got me through.
Right. Great.
And in your circle, Shreya, you were talking about that study group and your friends. So in that circle, was there anyone else also there who used to share the same passion and he or she did well in the exam, or she like, so if you could talk about your circle as well, your group as well. So
well, my group had 6 people, and anyone who does this kind of prep this intensively has a lot of passion. It doesn't always work out, but still everybody has that passion, and I would say all of them had that passion. Whenever I talked to them, I could feel myself re-energizing. I could feel from it's not just about this specific maths problem, it's about what college I want to get into, what kind of life I want, and having passionate people around you definitely helps with that.
Super.
Yeah. So what used to typically happen in your study group?
Usually we would send articles related to current affairs, or we would have video calls once in a while, and we would just talk about how it's going, because we cannot meet anyone one-to-one. We are just seeing the same 3 faces every day. So it's nice to see other people having the same problem you are having. That, and I guess that's it. Plus, if we had any problems, we could always ask each other.
And maybe share a few jokes about the faculty as well, right? Who's
right? No comments.
No comments.
No comments.
What happens in the study group stays in the study
group.
Excellent, right? But और क्या था हमारे पास? यही था ना, यही सब छोटी-छोटी वो थी ना, खुशियां थी ना कि
these small things add up to make the whole.
Right.
Yeah. to get you to the bigger picture actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Super. Shreya, बहुत बढ़िया, and I am super kicked about your rank. Congratulations for doing that. I hope you have a very successful career and stint at NLSIU Bangalore. We will definitely be in touch with you for whatever you need in life. You have mentors in us who are going to be there with you whenever you need any kind of support, any kind of help. We'll be definitely there. Aman sir, you have any questions or?
No, I think all the best, and I think she's done great, and I think she should just
enjoy the glory.
Enjoy, right? The glory.
Thank
and
you, sir.
prepare
Thank you,
for
sir.
the bigger goal.
Good job, Shreya. Good job. Great. So I'm just one second.